Sleep, the final frontier. No, I'm just kidding. Well, kind of. Sleep is one of those things that we know we need, and we do a really poor job at making sure that we get good quality and we get enough of it. This week, I sat down with Evalee Gertz of Silk, and we talk about her beautiful sleep mask, which is a really quick and easy way to ensure that you get the quality sleep you need no matter where you are. Hi, I'm Adrienne Irizarry. I'm an East Asian medicine practitioner who is passionate about women's health and helping women to live their best lives. My goal is to put you in the driver's seat of your health, offering holistic solutions for a symptom free life. Statements made in this program are for educational purposes only and not intended as a substitution for medical consultation or advice. We do not claim to diagnose, treat, or cure any diseases. This podcast is inclusive and welcomes all gender identities. The focus of the program is on biological function, and we will use the term women throughout, but it is referencing physiological and social challenges for biology, not identity. Come as you are, I am happy you're here and welcome all performances of identity. I hope you find something helpful in this show. Welcome back to another episode of the Reproductive Rebel podcast. I'm so excited to talk about one of my favorite topics today, which is sleep. I am joined today by the founder of Silk, Evalee Gertz. Welcome to the show, Evalee.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
So I had a beautiful opportunity to cross paths with Evalee, and we were talking about sleep and sleep hygiene. And I was like, oh my goodness, lady, we have got to have a conversation about this on the show. So if you could introduce yourself to the listeners and tell them a little bit about how you got to do what you do now.
Sure. So I founded Sia Silk and we manufacture luxury silk sleep masks. And I got into it because I actually used to be a professional dancer and I also taught yoga forever. So just doing a career that was very physical and made me really in touch with my body. So I've always been really interested in like health and wellness and nutrition and kind of optimizing performance, that kind of thing. But especially when I was dancing, it's such a competitive and high demand profession that I got really into sleep. I realized really quickly that having good sleep was like a game changer. If I didn't get a good night's sleep and I had an audition the next day, I probably wasn't going to book it. And, if I'm out on the road on tour or I'm performing in a show, like the quality of my sleep really made a big difference in how well I was able to perform and just keep my competitive edge and show up as my best self. So I got really interested in how to optimize sleep pretty early on. And I realized that one of the biggest returns on investment for that is using a sleep mask. So I have used sleep masks for many years. Then I have tried all the different kinds of masks out on the market. And I really struggled to find one that actually worked for me. So first I tried like the synthetic masks that had pretty good shapes and functionality, but they, were synthetic materials and they often used chemical adhesives and they fell apart when you wash them and they caused me to break out and they just weren't good quality masks. And so then I switched to silk masks because silk has lots of wonderful skin nourishing benefits. It's antimicrobial, so it helps prevent breakouts. And it's even been shown to speed up the cell turnover in your skin. So it has some anti-aging benefits as well. So there's lots of good reasons to use silk. I know silk pillowcases are a big thing, and that's why, because it's really good for your skin and your hair. It helps maintain moisture and reduces friction, all the things. So I started exploring silk masks, and I really struggled to find one that I felt like had good functionality. They just didn't fit well. They weren't adjustable. They didn't block light very well. They smashed my eyelashes and it just never really worked for me. So I finally just decided to create one that I felt like was going to solve all those problems. So I created Sia Silk to do just that. So it's a little bit larger coverage. It's extra thick padding. It has larger than standard eye cups. So there's more room for your eyes and your lashes if you have long lashes. It's adjustable and it really conforms to your face. So it really does block out the light.
Oh, that's so awesome. So, a few things in that. I didn't know that silk had all of those qualities for your face.
Yeah.
That's really neat. That was actually one of my issues during COVID is when I had to wear a mask, I got maskne really bad, and it didn't matter what I did to prevent it. It still appeared. So that sounds like a really beautiful solution in terms of being able to maintain the care of your skin.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, during COVID, I also found luckily, I found somebody that was making silk masks, and I was able to use that, and it made a big difference because I also was dealing with that. But yeah, I found this study that showed that if you bind a wound with silk rather than like your typical cotton or whatever, that it actually will heal faster because it's actually been shown to speed up the cell turnover of your skin. So that's how it actually combats aging. I mean, it's probably really subtle, but it's better than, something else that isn't doing that. So it's pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, and if you're wearing it day in and day out, every time you lay down and you're wearing it for hours at a time, like it might be a little bit, but it adds up for sure.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
awesome. So, I talk with women about sleep all the time. This episode is coming right on the heels of me talking about no shame in the sleep game. So, if you haven't checked out that episode yet, I would highly encourage it. One of the big focuses of that episode is the fact that women need more sleep than men in order to function because of our hormones and how our body produces our sex hormones and where they come from in the body. So, this is one of the reasons I got so excited about my conversation with Evalee is because we tend to really jeopardize our overall health picture by not getting quality sleep. One of the things that we had talked about before the recording was how the littlest bits of light can affect your sleep quality. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes, I could talk about that all day. Yeah, it's really true. Like our eyelids are not really meant to filter out light. They're really thin. And so we're really evolutionarily meant to be sleeping until darkness in a cave when the sun goes down, right? So we're not really meant to have any light. And we live in this modern tech world where we're inundated with light all the time. Like whether it's the street lamp outside your window or the smoke detector or the light from your, digital alarm clock, whatever it is, that light is actually disturbing your sleep quality. And your eyelids aren't really able to filter that out to prevent that from happening. So you really need to sleep in an environment of total darkness. And the benefits of sleeping in total darkness are so numerous. Like everything from lowering your heart rate, which then lowers your risk of heart disease, lowering your insulin resistance. So then, it lowers your risk of obesity and diabetes. It even lowers your risk of depression. It increases longevity. It helps your hormones regulate, specifically melatonin, which is so vital. And if you're a woman and your reproductive hormones are all tied to melatonin, which helps regulate all that. And so getting that total darkness while you're sleeping really helps all of those processes work correctly and they're most efficiently. And, it's when we're sleeping that our bodies, our cells regenerate, our bodies, that's the time for it to, recuperate and restructure and get ourselves, ready for the next day so that we're able to be our best. And so if you don't really get rid of all the light at night, your body just isn't able to do that very well.
Yes, absolutely. I talk to people about TVs in the bedroom, much to my husband's chagrin. I'm like, nope, there will be nothing like that in our bedroom, and it's for sleeping.
Yeah, ours is like that too. We don't have any screens in our bedroom, and we try to only use incandescent lights in the evening, and we have red light glasses so that we're blocking that blue light because not just for your sleep, but like blue light can really be disruptive to your brain anyway and messes your circadian rhythm up. And then like LED lights like flicker and that can stress out your brain. So there's lots of issues with junk lighting that we deal with in today's modern world.
Oh gosh, yes. When I teach classes in the evening, I do a lot of virtual teaching and I'll put my blue light glasses on because I know that I'm teaching in the evening and it's darker outside and I'm like, okay, so I'm trying to honor like my body's rhythm, but you're so right. Like how many of us have the habit of sitting down and watching TV before we go to bed or we're on our phone before bed. I have a screen protector that is a red light screen protector so
That's awesome.
that it's blocking the blue light and what you're actually getting on your face is the red light because it's everywhere.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about the mask itself. Eva Lee had sent me a picture of all of the masks. They are gorgeous. Can I just say that the silk colors are so rich and vibrant? They look like gems. They're so beautiful.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's the fun part is like what cool color would be fun. And I have one in every color, of course, and just alternate them.
Yeah.
But yeah, the mass, again, it's really high quality silk. So it's 100% mulberry silk, 22 mom, grade 6A. So it's like the highest quality silk you can get, very durable for silk, which is very delicate. But the masks themselves are washable, which is really nice. Silk is always best to wash by hand, but I wash mine in the machine with a delicates bag, for
Mhm,
lingerie or whatever. And I just, as long as it's cold water and gentle detergent, like I wash mine every week pretty much to
mhm.
keep it clean. And, they're durable. Like they last a long time. Like I think you can go at least 6 months, if not longer, if you're taking care of your mask without having to replace it. Like eventually the foam padding will start to break down, but it takes a good amount of time. So if you're taking care of that silk, it's going to last you a nice long time. And then it's also adjustable. So it has an adjustable strap and the strap is wrapped in silk as well. So
Mm.
then you can like pull the silk back, adjust your size to get that perfect fit, and then pull the silk wrapping back over, and then your hair is protected. So you have that silk on your hair, which is, helps keep it from getting frizzy or helps with breakage and all that stuff too. So, yeah.
Oh, I love that. I have tried masks in the past for the reasons that we discussed. Like, I had run across something about, like, put a piece of tape over the light on your smoke detector, and I was like, "Really? Even that one little tiny light?" And, I'm pretty big into sleep hygiene and doing qigong before bed and stretching and all the things, right? But I had never in a million years thought about the light on the smoke detector. And now a break from our conversation for a partnership message. You've been told to hustle, grind, wake up early, and do more. But here's the truth: rest is the most productive thing you can do. And the right kind of rest starts with Sia Silk Sleep Mask, your new sleep sanctuary. I've tried so many sleep masks, and I thought I just had to deal with the discomfort of slipping straps and light still getting through. But then I found this one, and I'm never going back. Made of 100% mulberry silk, it's the only mask that creates total blackout with its comfortable, oversized eye cups that don't smush my lashes while feeling weightless on my face. My sleep, next level. This isn't just a sleep mask, it's an investment in your nervous system. Sia Silk is a women owned small business committed to high quality and sustainable luxury. Check out the show notes for the link to grab yours and rest like you mean it. And now, back to the show.
I know it's something that you just wouldn't think about that would really affect you, but it does. I mean, like any amount of light is going to prevent your body from reaching that total restoration state.
Wow. It's really impressive. So, the reason that I wanted to like really highlight this, and this episode is like one of a series of three. And the reason for that is sleep is so important. And honestly, this is where women tend to be like, they sacrifice for the good of the people, and their sleep quality is usually one of those things. So, like, I'm thinking about, like, new moms, for example, and yes, you have to get up and breastfeed in the middle of the night and all of that, but, using something like a sleep mask is going to optimize the quality of sleep that you're getting in between feedings so that you're not going to feel quite so tired. Also, weird aside, any way that you can put a low light to flip on when you are going to feed the baby is also helpful. I use a Himalayan sea salt lamp when I have to feed the baby in the middle of the night, and it makes a huge difference. It doesn't wake him all the way up, it doesn't wake me all the way up, and then we're able to go back to sleep. But we tend as women to not allow ourselves the quote unquote luxury
Mhm.
of quality sleep. And we're the ones that get up with the kids and all of these things. But the reality is, our male counterparts can handle an exponentially higher level of sleep deprivation before it starts to affect them adversely.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up. I think that's so true in so many reasons. Like, I even just recently saw a study saying that men just don't even need as much sleep as we do in general. So, like, we need, if the average night sleep is 8 hours, like the average woman needs 9 to 10 hours
Mhm.
just to get to the same level of restoration as a man will. And then the study also talked about how we don't even get as much like REM sleep or deep sleep during our time. So, like, I don't know if that's hormones or what, but we definitely don't get as much from our sleep as men seem to. And like you said, we can't function without it the way that they can. And that's a big deal. And it is so hard. I do think like we live in this society where I think women specifically are kind of taught to put everyone else's needs above our own, and we sacrifice ourselves so much. And, you can't give from an empty well. So I like to talk about how, we need to take the time to prioritize our self care and our rest because it's so important. And if you aren't taking care of yourself, then you really can't take care of anyone else. So, like, yeah, it is hard. It is hard to like give yourself the permission to go, what, I just need to lie down, or I need to sleep in an extra hour, or whatever it is that you need to do. I need to take that extra hour before bed to do my nighttime routine so I can get the best sleep possible. I love that you have a whole qigong and stretching nighttime routine. I do meditation. Sometimes I do baths and tea. Like, I think a nighttime routine is excellent idea. But yeah, I do. I think I'm with you. I think taking the time to prioritize sleep and self-care is so important. And that is one of the nice things about having a mask is that if you are, a new mom or whatever, and you're having to kind of take naps through the day and get sleep when you can because you're not able to sleep through the night, a mask is going to help you do that because you can easily get rid of the light so that you can actually get into a restorative state, even if it's only for an hour or two here and there throughout your day.
I wanted to ask about the larger eye cups. I loved what you had said about not smashing your eyelashes. And I don't even have, like, eyelash extensions or anything like that. So, talk a little bit about those enlarged cups. Will they accommodate? Because I can think of a couple of my clients that do have extensions.
Yeah, I mean, like, that was partly what I had in mind when I designed it. Like, I don't have eyelash extensions, but I do have, like, naturally longer lashes, and that really was a thing. Like, even the other, higher quality silk masks that have cups in them, they just all kind of use the standard mold, and so the eye cups I found weren't very deep, and it didn't provide enough room for my lashes, and they start to get all bent and wonky, and that's annoying, and I thought, "Well, if you're paying money to have eyelash extensions put on, why should you have to sacrifice the quality of your sleep?" Of course, there's limited what we can do. So the padding is on average about a centimeter to a centimeter and a half deeper than your average eye cup. And the cup itself is larger in circumference as well. So there's more room for your eyes. But we use a little bit softer foam because one of the brands that I had tried had like a harder foam, which does hold the cup shape a little better, but I found it to be extremely uncomfortable on my cheeks. So we use like a nice pliable foam that really conforms to your face, but it just depends. Like it depends on your face shape. It depends on your lash length or what type of extensions you have, if it's gonna work for you. So I do always say, like, use discretion to see if it will work for you. It's not gonna work for everyone, but that is the idea. The idea is to have bigger cups so there's more room for your lashes to protect them and also just to get that better seal of light
Yeah.
and more comfort. So it like really is soft and cushy and conforms to your face and feels good. And for me, it works great. I don't have any issues. I don't need any, I have very long lashes, so I don't have any issues with it. But, again, everybody's different. But I do think that this mask, at least in terms of the silk mask, has the largest cups of anything I've seen on the market so far. Most of them have, like I said, just a standard mold. So they're all kind of the same size eye cup. And ours is a good centimeter to centimeter and a half deeper.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So if people are looking for getting a hold of your beautiful eye masks, and did I mention that all of the colors are, like, delicious? They are. They're, like, the richest jewel tones. I'm like, "Oh, I want one in every color." Where could somebody get a hold of your masks?
Yeah, well, the best place to get it is just straight from our website. It's just www.siasilk.com, and you can get any color of our mask. We also sell lavender essential oil aromatherapy roll-ons, which is great to put a little under your nose and on your temples before bed, helps relax. And we have sleep kit gift box as well that you can get on our website. That does include the mask and some other goodies for getting the best night's rest you can get. So, but yeah, everything's available on our website. You can also get it on Amazon, but our website is a better place to get it.
Awesome. So all of that information will be in the show notes so that you guys can get a hold of this beautiful product. It also sounds, hint, hint, wink, for people who are putting together registries for birthing people. This would be a beautiful gift, especially this gift box idea, because sleep is hard and sleep deprivation affects so many things, your emotional ability to regulate, your physical recovery. I mean, I keep coming back to postpartum. Yes, I'm in that phase of my life right now, but in general, like I think about all of the sleep disturbances that women experience, like perimenopause, as people start walking down that road of perimenopause, 1 to 3 in the morning starts becoming their nemesis and they start having sleep issues. And, yes, there is a hormonal transition that is taking place that does create the right environment for that to happen. But having good sleep hygiene is going to help counteract some of what you're getting because hormonally, that 9 to 10 hours that Evalee was talking about, we need that bare minimum just to maintain our hormonal reserve. And when
Mhm.
we go through perimenopause, there's a transition between your ovaries producing the lion's share of your sex hormones and it moves over to your adrenals. We become a lot more heavily driven by our hormones coming from our adrenals, and that's where we're very different from men. Men produce most of their sex hormones in their testes. They have a very small reliance on their adrenals, which is why they don't need as much sleep as we do. So it's really critically important to be able to get good quality sleep, and something as simple as a beautiful sleep mask to be able to block that light so that you can optimize your sleep quality is second to none. I mean, it's one of the best investments that you can make in yourself and your longevity and health. Because whether you're, trying to get cat naps around a baby that keeps waking up, or you're in that perimenopausal, menopausal transition where sleep really starts to take a huge hit. People who are struggling with insomnia from a Chinese medicine standpoint, yes, there is a nourishment of the body component that can help with those symptoms. And I work with people on that, but it's amazing when you start talking to people about their sleeping environment. I mentioned the TV and you mentioned the alarm clock, Evilly, but it's like there's so many little things. Like I had never thought about the smoke detector light. I don't have a lot of street lamps where I am, but even with light block curtains in my room, which I do have, it's incredible the number of things that we don't even think about that emit light.
Absolutely. And I love what you said about the return on investment and like it being such an investment. I couldn't agree more. Like you could spend a lot of money to outfit your whole house or your whole room with blackout curtains. And that's great. But what if you have to travel or, and a mask is like significantly cheaper than that. Even a really high quality mask, it's going to be a little bit more. But if you just think about in comparison, like to invest in a good quality mask, the return on investment that you're gonna get from that is so huge, and you can take it with you, and ours actually comes with a little satin travel bag, so you can throw it in your bag and keep it clean and safe while you're traveling, and then, if you're on an airplane or you're in a hotel room, like, you're just limited on how much light you can block out, and then you just don't have to worry about it. You just throw it in your bag, it's not that big, doesn't weigh anything, and you have good sleep with you wherever you go, so it's a great investment for your health and your overall well-being. And, that's why I'm so passionate about talking about why we should sleep better and invest in our, sleep health and sleep hygiene, because I really believe that as a society in general, like what you were saying about, being emotionally regulated, I think that sleep does play such a huge role in that. And, we already live in this really chaotic time and there's a lot of stress and a lot of just, we watch the news and there's just so many horrible things that we could be upset about. But if we get good sleep, then we're able to show up in our everyday lives as our best selves. And that has a ripple effect on society. And if everyone is just spending a little bit more time investing in themselves and then showing up as their better selves, like our society just is better for it. And we're going to see that on a large scale. So I'm so passionate about, encouraging people to get better sleep and take that time to invest in their self-care.
I love that. That is a perfect note. Do you have any final thoughts that you would like to leave our listeners with?
Oh, I don't think so. Just, be kind to yourself. That's it. And thank you so much for having me here to talk about this. I love talking about this. So
Thank you so much for joining me. And like I said, everybody, the link for this beautiful Sia Silk sleep mask is right in the show notes. We are going to have that link in all of our show notes for a little bit here. Since Sia Silk has agreed to be a sponsor of the podcast, that's how passionately I feel about sleep hygiene and sleep quality. And I'm so grateful to be able to partner with Evalee and her company to be able to bring all of you optimal sleep quality.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much. Couldn't be more thrilled to be partnering with you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Reproductive Rebel. Reproductive Rebel is recorded by certified peri-steam hydrotherapist and acutonics practitioner, herbalist, and Chinese nutritional therapist Adrienne Irizarry of Moon Essence LLC. If you are interested in setting up an appointment for one-on-one support, ordering from our store, or checking out our course offerings, visit our website at moonessence.life. Be sure to subscribe to our newsletter and get insider information on upcoming events and offerings. Join the conversation. Like and follow us at Moon Essence Me on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. Your voices make this program possible. Thank you all for your continued support.